Привет. So we're talking about a new topic, verbal aspect. We haven't covered this before, and you've probably never heard of it before either. So if this seems a little strange, a little different, it should. It's very different from what we have in English. So let's compare with English to start off with. Think about English verbs, because this has to deal with verbs. How many tenses do we have in English for you native English speakers? You're probably saying 3, past, present, and future. No. Actually, we have about 12 different tenses. So we have, just for the past tense, we have past simple, we have past continuous or past progressive, we have past perfect, and we have past perfect continuous. So we have differences in meanings in English with stuff like I read, I was reading, I had read, I had been reading. As native English speakers, we just kind of feel, we just instinctively sort of know which tense to use, which specific little subtense, if you want to call it that. Maybe we can't explain why, but we know when we're supposed to use one or the other. Russians have that same deal going on with aspect. So they may have trouble expressing exactly why you have to use a certain tense, a certain aspect, perfective or imperfective, but they know. So our goal is to also learn when to use these different aspects, perfective and imperfective. So let's get down to it. One of the things that's really important to remember when we're talking about aspect, and in general, language learning, is that we don't do one-to-one direct translations. And we'll see this come up when we're talking about aspect, because some of the ways that we use verbal aspect in Russian is very different than how we would express things in English. So remember, no one-to-one translation. The best way to sort of see this is in an example. Обычно я никогда не опаздываю, но сегодня утром я опоздала на занятия. So, in general, we'll focus more in the later videos, but in general, an imperfective verb focuses on a repeated action, something that happens a lot. Like this first part, обычно я никогда не опаздываю. So, generally, usually, обычно, I'm not late. Но сегодня утром, but this morning, я опоздала на занятия. This morning, I was late to class. So imperfective shows something that happens frequently, while perfective shows one single completed action in general. For now, we're going to be focusing on learning the context of perfective and imperfective verbs, and we will focus on learning the different forms and how to make these pairs in 6.2. So for now, we're going to focus on context, and for that, please watch the next few videos about specifically imperfective and specifically perfective verbs and when to use them.